I am mixed, but I identify as black. My mother is white and my father is black. I grew up in a black neighborhood. I went to predominantly black schools. I attended a historically black college. And yet I still grew up believing that I wasn't black enough, nor was I ever white enough. So as I grew older, I began to have this thought process that I hated what I looked like because my life represented something that some people are still threatened by and afraid of, which is unity. The combining of two cultures and ethnicities and backgrounds coming together. As a result, unfortunately, I have experienced prejudice and racism. I remember being with my mom, getting blank stares and cold glares, wondering, asking myself, am I in the wrong place? The looks that almost were to say, what are you doing here? Now I am married to a beautiful, loving, kind, God-fearing woman who now receives these same stares and cold glares that my mom once received. And I must ask myself the same questions that I asked myself as a child. Are we not welcome here? And I begin to ponder, what will it be like for my children? What will people say to them? What will people say about them? I even remember being asked as a child if a race riot were to break out, which side would I stand on? And as a child, standing up and saying, I stand on neither side. I will stand in the middle because we shouldn't be fighting. Hopefully you now realize that I'm in a dilemma. I'm in the middle, the place that most people don't want to be, the place that most people avoid. Because in the middle, there's tension where you're not all the way on one side and you're not all the way on the other side. Because if I pick a side, I actually deny half of what made me. So I've come to believe that the attack of the enemy, that the attack of Satan, is to get us to choose a side, to simply pick a side, whether it's white or black, Democrat or Republican, right or left, right or wrong. Because we think when we pick a side, we're leading people, but when we pick a side, we're leaving people. Because when you pick a side, you divide. And maybe we're all just supposed to be in the middle. This isn't a black or a white issue. This isn't a political issue. This is a biblical and moral issue. This isn't a skin problem. This is a sin problem. And hatred at any level is a sin. But when you're in the middle, you deal with this tension that you don't want to offend anyone. You don't want to offend either side. And I understand how easy it is to pick a side. Because when you're in the middle, you wrestle between wanting to do something, wanting to say something, but you feel hopeless and helpless at the same time. Because you feel the pain and you know that there's pain and ignorance on both sides. But being in the middle means we're supposed to bring things together, not separate. Because in order for there to be unity, I have to be in the middle. In order for there to be unity, you have to be in the middle. Unity is where you and I belong. Unity is where God commands the blessing. And I want to be in the middle. Something has to bring us together. Someone has to bring us together. And I believe Jesus died so that he could bring us all together. And you may be thinking, well, I stand with Jesus. And absolutely. And Jesus is standing. He's standing in the middle. He was in the middle of a cross between people who loved him and people who hated him. And this taught me that being mixed isn't a curse. It's actually my greatest blessing and my greatest responsibility. Because even though being in the middle is messy, being mixed means being in the middle. Because it forced me not to pick a side. So I'm not going to pick white and I'm not going to pick black. I pick together because I want all of us to be together in the middle.